back to the daily grinding. Y'all know we gotta talk about this, but before we do, make sure you hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting B-word, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
The UFC is continuing to stack UFC 225 in Chicago. They have now added not only a heavyweight bout between Rashad Coulter and another gentleman, but that's not the fight that we're really excited about in this video. The brand new fight that I'm really excited about is Joseph Benavidez versus Sergio Pettis. This is going to be a flyweight contender fight between two of the top flyweights. Joseph Benavidez is the #1 ranked contender on a 6-fight winning streak. He hasn't lost since losing to Demetrius Johnson back in 2014. He's been out for a little while with an ACL injury after coaching the Ultimate Fighter against Henry Cejudo. Then they ended up meeting in the octagon where Joseph Benavidez outpointed Henry Cejudo in a very close and somewhat controversial split decision. Some people thought Henry Cejudo won the fight, but the judges scored the fight for Joseph Benavidez. So now he's on a 6-fight winning streak, but he was out with that injury, unfortunately. So now he's going to be returning to action against Sergio Pettis, who's also coming off of a fight with Henry Cejudo. That fight, Henry Cejudo won, though. So both of these guys are coming off of fights with Henry Cejudo. I guess so. Arguably, both of them lost because I'll be honest. I had Joseph Benavidez. I thought Henry Cejudo won the fight before the judges read the scorecards, but they gave it to Joseph Benavidez. So hey, if Joseph Benavidez can get this win, maybe he'll be looking at another title shot. I don't know about that though. This is the interesting thing with Joseph Benavidez is he's already fought Demetrius Johnson twice and lost. But for this fight though versus Sergio Pettis, I think he's primed to win this fight. If I were to pick the favorite today, it would for sure be Joseph Benavidez because he's fought 29 times in his professional career. He's got 25 wins and only 4 losses, and those losses are to only 2 people. He's lost twice to Demetrius Johnson, the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and twice to Dominic Cruz, who's been up in the top of the pound-for-pound fighters in the world, and back whenever he was fighting Joseph Benavidez was the kingpin. So Joseph Benavidez only loses to the cream of the crop in professional mixed martial artists. Sergio Pettis is still very young in his game, only 24 years old. He's still very experienced for how young he is. Sergio Pettis has 16 wins and 3 losses, I believe. So he's already got 19 fights and he's just 24 years old. Sergio Pettis, grew up in mixed martial arts. He's the brother of Anthony Pettis, former UFC champion. So Sergio Pettis is definitely no slouch, and this is going to be probably a favorable matchup for Sergio Pettis compared to his last fight, because he was going against an Olympic level wrestler, and we know Henry Cejudo's game plan against a lot of opponents is going to be to dominate him with his Olympic level wrestling and control him that way. So Joseph Benavidez isn't going to be looking in here and trying to dominate Sergio Pettis with his wrestling as a Henry Cejudo would have. So this is going to be an exciting style matchup. I would pick Joseph Benavidez to win the fight off the top of my head, but Sergio Pettis could very well make himself one of the top contenders in the flyweight division with a win over Joseph Benavidez at UFC 225. But UFC 225 now, there's going to be the return of CM Punk versus Mike Jackson. There's also Robert Whittaker versus Yoel Romero proposed for that card. The champion Robert Whittaker asked Yoel Romero, "Are you ready for, to go in Chicago?" So that's likely to happen on this card. Also, there's another fight, a female fight that's going to be crazy on that card. Let's see, I've got it pulled up actually. It is Carla Esparza and Claudia Gadelha. So yeah, that's UFC 225 starting to get stacked, and I would assume it's going to be. We got we might get another title fight. I know Dana White's came out and said that the cards are going to keep getting better and better this year, crazier and crazier. There's talks of the return of Nick Diaz, Conor McGregor. All of these people are likely to be fighting in 2018. Nate Diaz might return. There's just a lot of things that can go on, especially for UFC 225 in Chicago. So, but we might not get another title fight. I would assume so. But CM Punk, you have to think he's from the WWE. He's going to be on this card, and he's known to sell some pay-per-views himself. So the UFC might be good just stacking this card like this. Joseph Benavidez, Sergio Pettis, Claudia Gadelha versus who was it? Claudia Gadelha versus Carla Esparza. Yeah, that's going to be a hell of a fight as well. So this as far as legitimate mixed martial arts fight, this card is stacked. Also, you've got the, crossover CM Punk on the card, so I would expect this pay-per-view to do pretty well, UFC 225, and I also would expect the UFC to continue stacking it. I mean, it's going to be great. It's already worth the money in my opinion, but hey, it's, I'm an easy sell. So with that being said, it is what it is. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. Actually, P.S. It's not already worth the money until Robert Whittaker vs. Yoel Romero becomes official, because there's not a title fight. But if it were Robert Whittaker, Yoel Romero, plus Benavidez Pettis, plus Esparza vs. Gadea, plus CM Punk Mike Jackson, that's a dope card. So with that being said, we'll see what happens. Now let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell right next to it so you're notified every time I upload a video. I'm out.
Bye, Felicia.